Episode 188. Chen Yehui's intent was clear, but Ye Qiu's aggression was even clearer, having completely raided his opponent's plan. His mountain, shattering strike slammed right into the heart of their formation. The shockwave rippled outward, catching anyone who reacted a hair too slow. Before they could even get their formation set, the blow had already sent them staggering and reeling. Then came a sky strike and a falling flower palm. Two battle mage skills executed with the spear form of his combined weapon. With a single palm strike, he sent 4 opponents flying. Then, with a leg lift, he kicked one person into the air. The 1000-chance umbrella shrank back into its gun form, and bullets sprayed out. The man was sent flying backward in a spray of blood. It was Ye Qiu who executed the straight-line version of 100-step piercer. This technique required lightning-fast execution the moment the target was launched into the air. He then had to draw his gun and fire. The principle was the same as a witch's ultra, low-altitude broom flight. The player sent flying backward crashed into several others along the way. He didn't fly far, but managed to bowl over 3 more players. The formation under Chen Yehui's command was already in complete disarray after just 3 attacks from Ye Qiu. Tang Ru and Steamed Bun Invasion now split off to attack, one left, one right, their assault blindingly fast. In just that brief moment, though few had fallen, even fewer were left standing. As the dust settled, only one of the 24 thugs led by Chen Yehui had been taken out. 13 were down, and the remaining 10 had their vision utterly scrambled. Lord Grimm and his 2 companions stood back to back, weapons held high, a formidable trio dominating the center of the circle. Their overwhelming momentum was, for a moment, unmatched. Standing to the side, Chuanqing was stunned, utterly dumbfounded. Were the other 6 all unnecessary? Just these 3 were already suppressing the offensive of all 24 opponents. Chuanqing had fought them before. He died quickly, sure, but that just proved their strength and teamwork were formidable. But against these 3, they just fell apart like paper. In under a minute, their whole encirclement was gone. Chuanqing was envious. This was just too cool. Enemies were dropping left and right. Some were turning to flee. Others had found their bearings, but were too scared to move. Chuanqing always fought alone. The image of enemies scattering in disarray while he stood tall and proud in the center was his most frequent fantasy. And now fantasy had become reality. Even with 3 of them here, this was the very state he had always yearned for. At this moment, the enemy characters were clearly still moving, yet Chuanqing felt as if time itself had frozen. Because in his eyes, the moving figures were just background noise, utterly negligible. His gaze was fixed solely on the 3 figures at the circle's center.
The gunner opens fire! The spellblade disrupts their line of sight! What's the swordsman do with? Hold your position! Summon out, you idiot!
Get into position first, then summon!
Interrupted again! Go to hell!
Chen Yehui shouted himself hoarse, deploying his forces. But it was useless. Completely useless. Bullets and shells from the gunners flew wildly.
In the end, it just felt like background music for the battle. It added a bit of atmosphere, nothing more. There was no real restriction. The enemy's movement tempo was far faster than their rate of fire. The witch tried to disrupt the opponent's line of sight with her swift flight, but she'd barely crossed their vision before she was swatted down like a fly, pinned him to the ground, and pummeled him relentlessly. The swordsman tried to hold his ground. The swordsman was utterly bewildered. Where exactly was his place supposed to be? How had he, without even realizing it, become a complete outsider? He was drifting further and further from the fight. As for the summoner, it's been rough. A summoner needs to call forth various pets to aid in battle. It's all about casting skills. Ever since his summoned pets fell in battle at the start of the fight, he hadn't managed to call up a single replacement. No matter where he fled, a bullet would always find him, interrupting his casting just as he began a channeled skill.
The poor summoner had only one thought: this bullet. was his most loyal familiar. The moment he tried to cast,
the bullet would instantly rush over to kiss him. Chuancheng, watching from the side, was already fired up with excitement. He called out to Tian Qi and Yu Zhongmian beside him.
Hey, let's go 2-0. What are we going up there for? Tian Qi asked him.
Hey, let's fight.
Better not get in the way. What do you mean in the way?
Yu Zhongmian suddenly erupted. Even though he'd been hanging around Zhen Moxiao a lot lately, the pent-up frustration from earlier days hadn't fully dissipated.
Lord Grimm still hasn't added me as a friend, he said. With that, Yu Zhongmian drew his sword and charged. Quan Chen, without a moment's hesitation, leveled his spear and surged forward.
The opponent, who had been getting pummeled by Lord Grimm and his 2 companions to the point of tears, initially panicked at the sight of new players joining the fray. But after a few exchanges, someone immediately cried out in a mix of shock and delight.
Hey, these 2 are easy pickings. Oh, really? Oh, really?
The opponents were overjoyed, many of them rushing toward these 2. Lord Grimm and his 2 companions were, intentionally or not, completely ignored. Chen Yihui Thousand City and Mid-Moon Slumber were now in the same boat.
They were collectively fuming. Family should share the same pressure, after all. Chen Yehui instantly became the target of Ye Xiu and his 2 companions.
Chuancheng and Yui Zongmian became the easy prey in everyone's eyes. Their reactions were perfectly in sync. When you can't win, you run.
Chen Yehui bolted left, while Chuancheng and Yui Shaomian dashed right. Tian Qi hurriedly stepped aside, hoping to be seen as just part of the scenery.
Hey, there's another one here.
But TMP's plan backfired. When the enemy roared in pursuit, they counted him in 2. TMP was practically weeping with frustration. He had no choice but to flee alongside Moonlight Slumber. What had been a serious battle instantly devolved into a farce.
Ye Xiu was speechless. He watched the fleeing Chuancheng and sighed.
This guy really is a pro at stealing kills.
Fortunately, not everyone was so fickle. Some continued to tangle with Ye Xiu and his companions. But now, they only seemed more isolated and outmatched. They were no match for the 3 of them. Chen Yihui ran off, and seeing that the trio wasn't giving chase, he immediately started shouting orders again. But even when they had the numbers, it hadn't worked. Now, with half their forces already out of the fight, his attempts at command seemed utterly pointless. Then came the falling, an endless cascade of bodies hitting the ground. The sounds of battle within the canyon seemed to be fading bit by bit. With each person who fell, the clamor would die down a little more. Not good enough. Tang Ru said, "Is he done for?" Hearing this, the opponent was elated. Was he out of HP or out of MP? Too weak?
Tears streamed down their faces. So he was saying they were no good.
Even if we're weak, we have to give it our all.
It's a sign of respect for our opponent. Steamed Bun Invasion declared.
At the same time, he slammed a brick into someone's face, knocking them out cold.
Well said, Steam Bang.
Heh, right?
Steamed Bun Invasion swaggered off, looking for more people to bully.